You know, sometimes you just gotta look at your life and be like, fuck it, I'm going to Thailand and shit. This video, I'm just kind of want to go over a few things that I've been up to and possibly invite y'all on a possible keto / fasting retreat. So I'm here at Fort Ontario today. Decided to get the fuck out of the house and do some vlogging and shit. And, you know, some photography work and shit. It's closed though, it looks like. A couple of my subscribers have invited me to Thailand in July for a keto retreat. So the whole object of the retreat is you get away, you go to a nice paradise. You know, you do all the touristy shit you would do in Thailand, you know, beaches, fucking shopping, mingling with the locals, getting massages and shit. You know, everything that you can think of. And we all kind of hang out together and talk about the keto lifestyle and fasting and compare notes. And, you know, maybe some of you would be just starting out on your journey and want to learn in an environment that gets you away from the normal everyday bullshit that you're going to encounter when you try and start your ketogenic journey and your fasting lifestyle. So a lot of you are going to encounter a lot of resistance when you start out on your ketogenic journey. And this is kind of like a supportive environment. You know, it's each trip is looking to be 7 days, and you'll be able to get away from our shittier environment, get to a nice tropical environment, and be with like-minded people on a trip, and essentially, you know, start or reinforce an already existing ketogenic lifestyle or fasting lifestyle, or both, as I would advocate for ultimately, is that you do both. You know, this is a tremendous opportunity. You know, I've gone away I've done like a similar thing with a yoga retreat as a photographer. My job was to capture the events, and I shared that with all of you on this channel. This would be a bit different than that, it would be a little bit of a workcation for me because I'd be one of the guest speakers and having to, you know, do all of the stuff that to host and to have talks and to have discussions on keto and fasting and shit. And lifestyle too, because minimalism's still a big part of what I do. But basically a healthy lifestyle retreat to kind of pull people out of their, you know, everyday lives which are not supportive of healthy lifestyle. You know, you're surrounded by all of the trappings of our shitty food environment. You're surrounded by people that are eating unhealthy, that are trying to, you know, just maintain the status quo with everything from, you know, how they live their life, the consumerism, the ultimate, you know, eating shitty foods all the time, drinking their faces off. And sometimes you need to get kind of out of that environment and really, you know, step away from your normal life to have like this astounding worldview change. And this happened for me a lot when I went to St. Lucia for the yoga retreat. Now, as you know, if you can go back and look at some of the videos, I as a photographer was taken to St. Lucia to cover a yoga retreat, which is a similar situation. You got a tight-knit group of people with all the common goal, yoga being the goal there. And with this retreat, it would be keto and fasting would be what we have in common, and hiking and getting out in nature, I think, would be a good part of it. Or even just doing the touristy shit and exploring new cultures. It's just also something that is very, I don't know, it can open your eyes to some of the things that are holding you back at home. You know, when you get out there and you see how other people live, the kinds of foods they're eating, which aren't necessarily the healthiest either. You know, from what I hear, the food environment in Thailand has a little bit to be desired since it's become more westernized. But basically, it's an opportunity to escape your everyday life and to either start or reinforce your existing ketogenic and fasting lifestyle, or even other lifestyle. And I'd be willing to venture quite a few talks on minimalism as well, because of, you know, it's very central to how I live my life now, and the fact that I've gotten out of trucking, and the fact that I'm out here, you know, on a day like today, you know, getting out here to shoot some photography and to do some stuff for YouTube, and just being able to be in a peaceful, less stressful environment. And that can go a long way to getting your, you know, to getting your life in order, to stepping away from all the unhealthy shit you do. Because when you're at home, it's easy to get sucked into the same unhealthy fucking routines. So, you know, there'll be a link in the description below to a Facebook page. So you can contact Liana through the link in the description. We have a Facebook page stood up for it, and we're looking to do this in July. And I'm just going to go over some of the things that you'll be able to do, assuming I got signal here. The resort is in Phuket, Thailand, or Phuket, Thailand, which is the first thing I thought when I heard the Phuket. And it's called Phuket Lifestyle. And basically they got a resort set aside, I think 14 people max per trip, for 2 7-day trips, you know, depending on, you know, response and how many people we get to do this. You know, I don't know the costs or anything yet. This is kind of in the initial planning phases. But I'll just read off to you some of the, like a sample of what you get to do on this trip. So it's a all-out fun keto and intermittent fasting vacation to wonderful Phuket, a rainforested mountainous island in the Andaman, I can't pronounce that shit, sea. Has some of Thailand's most popular beaches, mainly situated along the clear waters of the western shore. The island is home to many high-end seaside resorts, spas, and restaurants. Phuket City, the capital, has old shop houses, busy markets. Patong, the main resort town, has many nightclubs, bars, and discos. With Phuket Lifestyle, you will be treated to an amazing 7-day, 6-night adventure at the resort on Phuket Island. Airport transportation and 3 meals of ketogenic foods will be provided for the duration of your stay. We will have briefings on the keto healthy lifestyle with Scott the motherfucking truck driver. I'm going to be there. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be talking shit about keto and lifestyle and all the shit that we've endured on our journeys, or if you're just starting out, what to expect as you go forward in a keto fasting and minimalism lifestyle, if you so choose, but it's more keto and fasting. So, you know, day one, you'll arrive, you'll be picked up at Phuket Airport. Their staff will cater to your every need. You don't have to worry about your luggage, they'll get it for you. PL will get you settled into the resort for a much needed rest after your long journey. If you arrive in time, you can join the meet and greet Sunday evening, and that's where we get to hang out. And you know, this is a good opportunity for, you know, I know I got some long-time subscribers that would just love to chill and hang out. And what better place to do that than in fucking a paradise like Thailand? So, you know, there's that. So day 2, there'll be a keto breakfast. They're going to have blood tests and fasting blood sugar tests for people who are diabetic. They're looking to do this for those reasons. And that'll, and there's also probably you can do keto tests and stuff like that in urine, or I don't know if we're going to do the blood sticking thing. But yeah, you can figure out if by the end of 7 days, if you can get into ketosis, because it only generally takes 5 to get to that point. But you can kind of gauge and get started and then try and maintain that when you return home. Day 3, this is a sample itinerary. It's still open to, what you can pretty much do what you want on this. This is just what the opportunities that are provided by Phuket Lifestyle. So day 3, the keto pitfalls, tips and tricks for keto lifestyle. That's something I would be talking about. And then tours around the island. You can go on hikes. I want to do a lot of hiking while I'm there, and I'd love to go hiking with all of you. This is for you to come out and we can get out on a trail somewhere in Thailand. That would be an awesome excursion. Get close to nature in a way different environment than where I live anyway. And I think that is part of this, is experiencing these things that I kind of share with you on the channel together. When I go out on my wilderness fasts and stuff like that, this would be a similar thing. We'd be wilderness fasting together, getting out on a hike or one of the other activities. Also available is scuba diving. I've never scuba dived. I've snorkeled, but I've never scuba dived. I'm a little nervous about that, but yeah, I might be open to it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm more about the hiking though. And sitting on the beach and fucking around in the ocean a little bit. That's cool too. I definitely enjoyed that when I went to St. Lucia. So day 4, the keto breakfast, followed by another brief, basically we'll be hanging out and talking probably every meal together. And really kind of, and even going over what we're eating in that meal. These will be chef prepared meals. Liana, I believe, is an experienced chef and will be providing not only the recipes, but it's sourced from local food. We're trying to get the healthiest stuff possible in Thailand for that. So, just look forward to a nice, effortless keto experience. You might do some kind of keto, recipes or talks on things that you can cook. I, of course, will do this the same thing with, mine's a much simpler method for cooking in terms of keto and how to get around and do all of that. And what kind of foods to buy and how easy it is to actually cook for yourself instead of eating out all the time. There'll be daily tours or venture out on your own. There's all kinds of activities. There's the elephant sanctuary visit. There's live music. There's nightlife, obviously. So, check it out. Go and check out the Facebook page. And if you're interested, mark that you're interested. We're trying to gauge how many people would be interested in going to this. Your accommodations would all be a price per day. I don't know what that price is yet. And the plane ticket you would have to do yourself as well. So, just keep that in mind. It's a trip. It's still a trip. It still has all the expenses associated, including flying from wherever you are in the world to get there. I think we're shooting for a pretty reasonable price per day when you take into the account that there's going to be a couple included excursions. There's going to be 3 meals a day provided. And your hotel accommodations and it has a pool, and it's a really nice resort. You can see some pictures of it on the Facebook page. So check it out. I would love to have these kind of meet and greets or meetups where we all hang out together and we talk and we go through all of this. Questions that we might have, things that we've encountered, and I could probably learn from all of you just as much as I would be able to share what I've done over the years. I get a lot of questions from beginners in my personal life, and I could see that, somebody starting out, what better way to do it than to do it in a paradise such as Thailand. So go ahead and check it out, and get a hold of Liana, and she'll have more information on booking this, and getting it set up. We're shooting for July as the time frame for the 2 separate trips. I'll probably be out there a little bit before that. And there'll be tons of videos filmed. You're likely to be in one of my videos if you go there. And I, of course, would share the entire experience here on YouTube as well. Let's see if we can make this happen. Let's see if y'all are interested in something like this, and if you are, then we will definitely be proceeding with this. We'll see how it turns out. So I would love to go to Thailand with a bunch of you and hang out and do all kinds of Thailand shit. So other than that, what's been going on with me? Well, I'm still in my bulk phase. I've been making significant progress in the fitness realm. The aftermath of the hike that I posted, normally from a hike like that, carrying a weighted pack, I generally am looking at 3 days of recovery time last year. This year I recovered with 1 day of recovery, and I was ready. I was back at it at the gym the day after that without any serious soreness issues. And so I'm in a 24-hour recovery cycle, which is significant given the fact that I did 9 miles that day with a 54-pound pack, minus the mileage that Christy put in when she tried to carry it. But you saw how, that was a heavy pack. It was needlessly heavy for the trip. I wasn't using anything in the pack. It was just for training to get used to carrying the weighted pack again. Today I got my photography gear. I weighed that in. It's 30 pounds. Just my photography gear today is 30 pounds that I'm carrying around. So I've made gains there in endurance. I still, about the 6 mile mark, the pack really starts to hurt, and I hope there's a way to make that last a little longer to where I can go maybe 9 or 10 miles before the pack starts to hurt. But overall, I've made, the exercises I'm doing, some of my lifts have increased about 10 to 15 pounds over where they used to be, went back in the day when I used to work out. So not only am I back to my original strength when I worked out back in the day, I've made progress from that point forward. As far as weight, I was hovering when I started going to the gym between 204 to 206 pounds. Now I'm hovering between 206 to 209 pounds. So I'm a little nervous when I look at the scale. I'm still measuring 36 inches around the belly button, which hasn't changed since I started going to the gym. But I'm starting to notice more muscle definition. You can even see it a little bit in the video, and that wasn't always like that for me. So, I'm starting to get gains. So it's paying off. And I plan on keeping the bulk going for, I don't know, probably another 2 or 3 weeks before I try and do a cut, which will involve a fast, like a wilderness fast, probably multi-day. And get my weight, because I'm sure I'm putting on a little bit of fat. I am intentionally overeating keto, mainly carnivore, but mostly, there's some plants in my life. Which brings me to the next update. I did reintroduce nuts into my diet for the past week and a half. I've had nuts in my diet. I have not had a significant depression. However, I have noticed that I do bloat on occasion when I consume nuts, and it's like my gut pops right the fuck out. It looks kind of disturbing, and I think I may be retaining a little bit more water since I brought them back, but my mood hasn't deteriorated, which would lead me to conclude that the whole reason I got fucking depressed was alcohol. and which I have not had any alcohol since I quit. I think it was been a month and a half now. I'd have to go back and look at the date of when I started. But definitely I've made significant progress in terms of mental health despite bringing back nuts. And so I'm going to continue with the nuts and see how it goes. You know, I know a couple weeks is not enough time to make a judgment call on how successful it is. But overall, I'd say we're doing pretty fucking good with the nuts and shit. So there's that. So that's all. This is just a basic update video. I wanted to let you know about the future excursion to Thailand and see if we can have our first channel like subscriber meet and greet, hangout, adventure, pretty much. You know, an adventure together. And you know, if this is successful, I'll try and plan more adventures in the future, not only to Thailand but to other places as well. You know, because there's a lot of traveling I want to do. As many of you know, I want to go to Yosemite. I wouldn't mind having a few of you tag along for that. You know, safety in numbers and shit. But, you know, let's see how this goes. Let's see, you know, do you guys really want to do this kind of stuff? Do you want to have adventures together and share in this lifestyle that we've chosen to step out of this fucked up food environment, this fucked up medical environment, and for some of us, this fucked up, you know, structure in general. You know, and I want to do more minimalist videos because it's something that's been on my mind a lot for the past couple weeks. You know, my income's pretty low considering where I started, and you know, YouTube hasn't been very kind lately with the ad revenue. So I'm learning to live on less and with less. And I'm still getting clients. I'm still able to do that. And I still have my part-time job at the bar. But overall, I don't regret my decision to get out of trucking. And the fact that I'm no longer a truck driver. And these opportunities just keep popping up here and there. You know, first there was the St. Lucia trip, and now there's this Thailand trip. To be able to do these, what I consider like life-altering experiences, wouldn't have happened if I hadn't changed my health to a healthier lifestyle, and B, became a minimalist and started to learn to live on less, so I didn't have to make as much money to enjoy life. So I want to do more videos on minimalism too going forward. But I'll keep you posted. Pretty soon, I don't know how many more weeks of the personal trainer I have, but I do know that you guys want to see me pound the fuck master, and you know, like my workout routines and that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna start filming that once I'm done with all of the personal trainer stuff that has been going on. You know, he's teaching me a little bit of flexibility and some stretching routines I need to do so that I can do good squats and good, you know, basically make my groin fucking stretched out and shit, because apparently that's one of my weak spots. And it's important for a hiker to have lots of leg strength, so I've been doing, he hit me really hard with the deadlifts yesterday, so I'm feeling that today. But that's good, you know. I think I was getting up to, I think it was 170, 180 deadlift, which is pretty good, you know. I mean, it's not like I'm not a fucking Sean Baker or anything in terms of my lifting capabilities, but it's showing on the trail, and that's what's important. That's why I'm doing it. I'm not trying to be some big beefy motherfucker, you know, with all kinds of gains and shit. You know, I gotta admit though, I do like seeing the more muscle definition that I see, you know, in my arms and in my upper body, and my legs to a degree too. I'm starting to notice some changes there. So, you know, it does make you feel good when you look a little more fit in the mirror. I will say that. You know, but the scale does make me nervous. I'm so used to watching that fucking number go down. You know, that anytime it went up, I felt like I was fucking up. So I'm really having to mentally fight it. The urge to do a long fast, or the urge to do a cut now, which would stifle any of my ability to grow muscle. If you're doing long fasts and you're taking in pretty much less energy than you're expending, you're not going to build muscle. You'll just repair what you got. You're not going to grow new shit if you don't have the energy and amino acids to do so. So, I'm really struggling to ignore the fact that the scale is slowly climbing, because I know that when you build muscle weighs more than fat. So I know that I'm making progress there, and not to be too worried about the number on the scale. As long as that belly measurement isn't going up, I'm pretty much fine with the body weight, I think. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And, it's not like I don't know how to take the weight back off if it's not the right kind of weight. But we'll see. We'll see when I get to my cut and when I do my first wilderness fast of the season. I do want to get out there, though. I've had my few tastes of nature since the weather's warmed up a bit. I'm here now, on Lake Ontario. This is Fort Ontario behind me, and I'm just like, it's good to get the fuck out of that little room that I've spent so much time with editing and producing shit, to get out here and experience life a bit. And, that's one of my minimalist things I need to work on, too. So I know this video is all over the place, but I basically just wanted to share that in July, we're looking to do a keto and intermittent fasting retreat in Thailand. And I'm here to invite all of you who can, get the time off and get to Thailand to join us on this trip. And hopefully, if it's successful, we'll do it every year, maybe. I don't know. Or we'll have to see how it goes. So let me know in the comments what you think about, the idea of having retreats together. And, I'd also wouldn't mind at some point doing some wilderness fasting retreats and stuff like that, where we all go out and basically wilderness fast together. So, let me know. I'd like to hang out with some of yous and get some other perspectives on life. And I want to fucking travel in the process, too. And I have to do so within my means, which aren't very plentiful right now. So there'll be a lot of hiking and shit in that equation. But overall, I hope to see y'all in Thailand. I know I'm looking forward to it. And, let's make this shit happen. So head on over to the Facebook page for Phuket Lifestyle and give Liana, I believe the phone number's on there. You can call or you can send a message through Facebook to start talking about when to book and so on and so forth. And if you have any questions about the trip, she'd be more than happy to answer them and to get you all set up and start planning this. Another thing that you'll need to do to plan is make sure you have your passport, which can take a little bit, so you'd want to get on that now if you're thinking of going. And yeah, let's go experience a new culture together and shit. This video probably didn't enlighten you or wasn't very helpful, but if you still want me to make more videos, please head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and leave a fucking tip in the virtual tip jar. And I'm not an expert, I'm just an asshole. This is my health journey, my lifestyle journey, my journey in general that I've been sharing with you over the past 4 years. And I'm hoping you get everything out of it that I've gotten out of doing this stuff, and that, this self-experiment continues, as new things come up and new opportunities or new challenges come up. I like that I'm able to live this life the way I've been living it for the past year and a half, since I got out of trucking. I wouldn't trade it for the world. The experiences and I've had, the time I've spent with friends, the opportunities that have just seemingly keep popping up, just because I have the freedom to say yes to a lot of things, that's a big part of this change for me, is having the freedom. I see so many people that are enslaved to their daily corporate lives, And since I got away from that and I'm able to do things like, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this shit that I've been doing, the hikes, the trip to St. Lucia, this Thailand trip. These aren't things that would have been possible had I stayed in that truck. Even as a YouTuber in that truck, I don't think these opportunities would have ever presented themselves, and I wouldn't have had the time and energy to do a lot of the stuff that I do now. I definitely wouldn't have the energy to go hiking and do all that stuff, and I wouldn't trade those experiences for anything. So, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but that's important. You need to take care of your lifestyle just as much as you take care of your nutrition and your body, because the mind is part of the health component. And I don't think I was healthy in mind. And if you look around in the trucking industry at all the unhealthy people that are in there, a lot of it has to do with the mindset. If you're not happy with your life, you're not very motivated to be healthy. So that's the other part of this retreat, that it can show you that there is another life out there that you might not have experienced, or maybe you have, maybe you get to every once in a while. But it's an opportunity to step out of your comfort zone for a little bit and get to another part of the world and experience a different culture, experience different foods and different lifestyles. And who knows, you might even find a healthier lifestyle in Thailand than you would here, in the United States anyway. So I hope to see you guys in Thailand. I really do. I hope we make it there, and I hope we can share it all on this channel and continue to grow this movement. Keto has still become very popular. Carnivore is becoming more popular too, despite all of the drama between the carnivore and vegan bullshit that's been going around. But I think a lot of that is just views and clickbait. I don't think there's a real animosity between carnivores and vegans and vice versa, other than the extremists on both sides. I think normal people just do what's best for themselves health-wise, and that's what's fucking going on in reality, not what you see Spherge and Frank Tufano constantly spewing out, or even Sean Baker lately with his little outbursts against vegans. So, but that's enough rambling for this fucking video. Please like and subscribe. Check out ScottTheTruckDriver.com. Leave a tip in the virtual tip jar, and have a nice motherfucking day and shit.